It's long been assumed that stiffer, clipless cycling shoes offer improved power transfer and efficiency compared to more flexible ones. However, a bombshell new study from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the University of Colorado suggests that's not always the case. Crucially, the study concluded stiffer cycling shoes offer no measurable performance benefits in peak 1 second power and average power output over a 50-metre sprint, as well as in a number of related metrics. The same study also says that previous scientific research has shown that cycling shoes and clipless pedals have no significant effects on the metabolic cost of cycling during submaximal steady-state efforts. Can this really be true though? Is paying more for stiffer cycling shoes a waste of money? I'm going to try and replicate the tests and see if I can get the same results. First, I'm going to do the sprinting test, and then in the second half of the video, I'm going to do some steady state intervals as well. So stick around to the end to see the full results. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our wonderful channel, and click that little bell icon so that every time we upload a new video, you'll get a notification. Now, before I do my own testing, let's have a quick look at how the study in question was conducted. Researchers measured the mechanical power outputs, speed and cadences of 19 healthy male cyclists during a series of 50-metre flat-out sprints. The riders trialled 3 shoes, all with identical uppers that were attached to soles of different grades of stiffness. The most flexible shoe used injection moulded soles, the second set a carbon fibre/fiberglass blend, and the stiffest shoe featured a full carbon fibre sole. All of the cyclists rode outdoors on a paved asphalt road with a steady uphill gradient of 4.9% and used the same clipless pedals throughout all tests. The results showed no significant differences between the 3 shoe soles for 50-metre average and peak 1 second power, average change and peak change in speed, average and peak cadence, maximal sprint speed, peak acceleration, and peak crank torque. Of course, we here at BikeRadar thought that this was very interesting. Personally, I've always loved super stiff cycling shoes, but if shoe stiffness doesn't make any measurable difference to performance, maybe I've been barking up the wrong tree all of this time. Because of this, I wanted to see if it's possible to repeat the results of the test for myself. So, here we are at a shallow hill with 2 very similar pair of cycling shoes, each with different sole stiffnesses. The first is a slightly more affordable pair, Shimano's mid-range RC502 road cycling shoes, here in a lovely pearly white. The second shoe is at the higher end of the pricing spectrum, Shimano's S-Fire RC902. The same shoes you'll see in the World Tour on the feet of riders like Wout van Aert and Mathieu van der Poel. In terms of stiffness, the RC502 shoes are rated at an 8 out of 12 on Shimano's scale, while the RC902s are a full 12 out of 12. Now, obviously, those are just arbitrary numbers. The key takeaway is that the RC502 shoes are less stiff than the RC902s. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will have noticed that the uppers on each pair aren't exactly the same, which means I will know which shoes I'm wearing at any point. This therefore isn't a double-blind experiment like the study, and there is a possibility that I could be influenced by the placebo effect of wearing shiny red shoes. However, the uppers are very similar in construction and hold the foot in place equally well, in my opinion. We've also chosen to use just 2 rather than 3 different pairs of shoes, as it's just me doing the testing and this will help speed up the process. More importantly, these 2 pairs of shoes represent a realistic example of the kind of dilemma someone might actually have when trying to decide between buying a top-end set of cycling shoes or some slightly cheaper ones. We've marked out the 50-metre course and I'm going to do 3 sprints from 20 km/h in each pair of shoes. The RC502s will be shoe A and the RC902s will be shoe B. The testing sequence will be A, BB, AA, B. In between each sprint, I'll rest for 5 minutes before changing shoes as needed and repeat the process. To record all of our data, we'll be using a set of Garmin Vector-free dual-sided power meter pedals and a Garmin Edge 830 bike computer. After all the sprints are done, I'll download the ride file onto my laptop and we'll analyse the data. Okay, so I've done all the sprints, we've been back to the car, I've downloaded the data from my Garmin. What did we find out? We'll average the results for all of the runs for each shoe to give figures for both average power and peak power. We'll put those up on the screen. All in all, there was a slight advantage to overall average power for the stiffer shoe, but actually the highest peak power numbers came with the less stiff shoe. So overall, it's a bit of a draw. As the study says, it suggests that stiffer cycling shoes don't really provide a measurable performance advantage when it comes to things like sprinting. But what about efficiency over longer intervals? As mentioned at the beginning of this video, the same study cites other research which says that shoe stiffness has no significant effects on efficiency during sub-maximal steady-state intervals. Can I replicate those findings myself as well then? Let's do some more testing and find out. This time, I'm going to ride multiple 5-minute intervals at sweet spot power. That's around 225 watts for me right now, and I'll track the effect of maintaining that predetermined power output on my heart rate. In theory, if stiffer shoes such as this one do offer an efficiency advantage, meaning less energy is lost to flex in the sole, then I should be able to maintain the same average power for less effort and with a lower average heart rate. Again, the mid-range Shimano RC502 will be shoe A, and the top of the range Shimano S-Fire RC902 will be shoe B. As with the sprints, I'll do 3 intervals in each pair of shoes in the same sequence as before, with 5-minute rest periods in between each interval. For those intervals, I'll use the Favero Asioma Duo power meter pedals that are on my time trial bike, but I'll record the data using the same Garmin Edge 830 computer as before. So let's see how it goes. So, how did the steady state intervals go? Well, there wasn't really any difference between the less stiff shoes and the stiff shoes. My average heart rate across all of the intervals was about the same, within around 1 beat per minute. As with sprinting then, I can only conclude that stiffer cycling shoes don't offer a measurable efficiency gain in steady state intervals either. What have we learned then? Well, it seems in terms of sprinting and steady state efficiency, there are no significant advantages to having cycling shoes with very stiff soles versus ones with soles of average stiffness. So, will I just be ignoring shoe stiffness going forward then? Well, I certainly won't be pretending it's making any difference to my power output. If you prefer less stiff cycling shoes though, or simply don't want to shell out for more expensive cycling shoes with ultra stiff soles, then you can rest assured it's likely not hurting your performance on the bike. And with that, we've come to the end of our video. Now we want to hear from you. Were these the results you expected? Do you think stiffer cycling shoes offer meaningful advantages, or is shoe stiffness just another grand marketing lie? As always, let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon so that every time we upload a new video, you'll get a notification.